10 reasons why I'm going to plant a cover crop here. So the first reason we're growing a cover crop is to provide food for the chickens in our chicken tractor. This area isn't being used for anything at the moment, so why not grow food for our animals to eat? The second reason is to drown out all the weeds that are starting to pop up through the bare soil in this veggie patch. If the weeds don't have anywhere to grow, they won't grow. The soil here is pretty lifeless, so we're growing peas as our cover crop to fix nitrogen into the soil. We're struggling to get enough organic compost or mulch to put here. Cheeky cocky! We're struggling to get enough mulch to cover the bare ground here. We had a trailer load of wood chips and we had 2 large rounds of silage. And that hasn't even covered a quarter of it. So if we can grow our own mulch, that saves us outsourcing it. Cover crops help reduce erosion caused by rain and wind. We get a lot of heavy wind here, and when it's not wet, it's really dusty and dry, and you can see the dust on the topsoil blow away because of the wind. We've had a little bit of rain, so it hasn't been as dusty, but the rain can wash it down the hill as well. We've noticed that in one of the gullies there is a heap of topsoil that's been washed down there, so if we can grow plants to stabilise the ground, then we won't get soil loss. The soil is pretty wet at the moment because we got 25 mils overnight. It's much needed for out here, but once this dries out, it dries as solid as a brick. So the roots of the cover crop, if cut off at the base, once you finish growing and you leave those roots in the ground, they will allow the soil to hold more moisture. Even when they're growing and alive, the roots can bring up water from deep down, and that allows the soil not to dry out as much as it would if it was bare. The roots also create channels in the soil which allow the water to go deep down into the soil rather than just pooling on top. If you dig through this clay soil, you're not going to find any worms. But growing plants allows an ecosystem of microorganisms and worms to start to populate and multiply through the soil. Through all my other garden beds where there's lush growth and mulch, I've got a host of different microorganisms living in there. I've got abundance of worms, and I've got heaps and heaps of bugs and microorganisms living in there, which is helping with the soil fertility and allowing the plants to grow with optimal nutrition. What we love about permaculture is creating systems that are dual purpose, creating systems that make gardening and producing food for our family so much easier than a conventional system. By growing a cover crop, I'm going to slash it down afterwards, allow the chickens to come in here and pick what they can off it, but then what's left is going to become a mulch. That means I don't have to move mulch here. All I had to move was half a bucket of seed, spread it on. It only takes me 10 to 15 minutes to do this small area. But if I was to mulch this by hand, I'd have to move a bale of hay here, I'd have to outsource that bale of hay, and then I'd have to unravel it and spread it over here. And depending what mulch, if you were to use hay and not silage, you're introducing a heap of different seeds that could repopulate the area that you're trying to eliminate weeds from. Would you rather look at this or look at this? Greens and plants are so much more aesthetically pleasing than bare dirt. The flowers from the peas will help attract the bees and other pollinators to come down and pollinate the rest of our veggie patch. We do have our beehive right around the corner there, so we don't have any shortage of pollinators. But it just provides that little bit of extra food for the bees and for other pollinators that live around here. So that's it, guys. That's our 10 reasons. Do you have any other reasons why you guys plant cover crops or green manures? Your thoughts down in the comments. See you guys.